skies. Currently in our area, 87 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 78. Chance of rain 30%. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92. Thursday night, thunderstorms early. Low 80. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to the Weather Channel's continuing coverage of Hurricane Irma, Category 5 hurricane right now. Winds at 185 miles per hour with a pressure at 914 millibars, which is down just a little bit from earlier today. West-northwest movement at 16, and you can see some of the pictures from St. Martin in the Virgin Islands earlier today. Some damage and actually some vehicles that have even been flipped over. There's a look at the radar out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The eye is going just north of the island right now, maybe sparing Puerto Rico from the worst of it. The eye about 43 miles from the capital, but strong north winds will push some surge onto the north shore here. Winds are gusting at 63 miles per hour. Currently a buoy a little bit closer to the eye. Winds at 43 miles per hour. You notice how less the winds are the farther you go down to, say, the south shore there of Puerto Rico. Look at the models here, by the way. Pretty decent agreement here. And then a very sharp turn as it gets closer and closer to Florida. May bring it up through South Florida, maybe the Atlantic coast. But Bryan Norcross, our hurricane specialist, with us now. I want to say this. We've been waiting and waiting to see. We talk a lot about the European model, the GFS model. The GFS had already been farther east, the Euro had been farther west, and I feel like the Euro blinked today. And it came back to where all the other models were. What does that say in your mind?
Yeah, well, it says that the models moved today. And actually, if you go back and you look at the GFS, it kind of danced around too, but you're right. It generally has been farther to the east. I don't think it says anything. Yeah. You know, the amount of movement is so much within the average error that far into the future that I don't think it tells us anything tangible about, okay, we can be less concerned about the west coast of Florida now. We still have to be concerned about the whole state. Will you be more
confident if they do this again tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be a little more confident tomorrow. But the thing is that we know by looking at these things that they move, and then sometimes they move back because you get better data. Right? We're doing everything. Your government is doing everything they can to make good forecasts here. Right. You know, getting more observations from the upper atmosphere, measuring it with the jet out there, measuring the high pressure, trying to measure the low pressure, the dip better, right? And so, in theory, we're getting better forecasts, but sometimes it just takes a while. They're not perfect. They're not perfect well into the future.
All right, let's answer some questions. A lot of you have been sending us questions today. Keep doing that on Twitter and on Facebook. David asks this: is it possible for a storm of this magnitude and strength to outpower the pressure systems that are trying to steer it?
Sort of, because what's happening here is the air is going in at the bottom of the hurricane, and then it's lifting up. So it's going in here, and it's going in this way. It's going in this way. Sorry about that. My pen is no good. It's going in this way, and then it's lifting up in the hurricane. It's going up in the atmosphere, and then it's going out. So it's making a big high-pressure system aloft over top of it. Right. So in some sense, it creates this big bubble over top of it. But the
Can it be strong enough to outpower something like that high pressure
So
range?
it isn't really the way to look at it, because the models know about that and they predict that, so that when you're looking at the models, it's not a matter of one outpowering the other. It's all the same atmosphere. Yeah. It's all the same
air,
they work
together.
But there is, at the high levels of the atmosphere, above this level we're looking at here, right? There is a big high pressure system over top of Irma that Irma is tending to reinforce.
Why we think it will stay relatively strong.
Right, exactly.
Well. All right, another question tonight. This question comes to us from Natalie, asking how much of a chance does the hurricane have of going into the Gulf, then affecting Georgia, Alabama, or the Panhandle?
I'd say not a great chance, but not a zero chance. Yeah. We just can't rule out this whole thing being over on the west coast of Florida and up to the Panhandle. Can't rule it out. odds favor it being farther east, but we can't rule it out.
You take a look at where this may be by Sunday, coming from the Bahamas into South Florida. But to your point, you know, just small fluctuations there can make a big difference for Florida because it's not a wide state.
Look at the difference in angle that it makes. You know, the differences here are really too subtle to be able to predict it this far out.
All right, so folks, let that be a reminder to you if you live on the West Coast, maybe in the Panhandle, still watch this one very, very closely. We're going to answer more of your questions coming up when we come back. As Irma nears the U.S., what can we expect? Stay with us.
Keeps ice for days, stays tough for a lifetime. For $250, you'll be one happy camper. Cabela's Polar Cap Equalizer Cooler. Great price, lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Each year, Sarah climbs 58,070 steps. That's the height of Mount Everest. Because each day she chooses to take the stairs, at work, at home, even on the escalator. That can be hard on her lower body. So now she does it with Dr. Scholl's orthotics, clinically proven to relieve and prevent foot, knee, or lower back pain by reducing the shock and stress that travel up her body with every step she takes. So keep on climbing, Sarah. You're killing it. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Oh, hey, Mom. Now that we have your attention, Capri Sun has 4 updated drinks. Now with only the good stuff. Do you know how to use those? Nope. Get those kids